Talk to me about like life's ups and downs. It's gonna be your favorite part of the whole podcast. Life's ups and downs and still being a businesswoman, right? Starting a family, going through a divorce, right? Just different things you've been through. I've seen you through it. A decade ago, I've seen you through an adoption 5 years ago. It's been 6 years with DJ.
Almost 7.
Almost 7 years with DJ. And so talk about trying to build a life as a woman, being a businesswoman, trying to build a life as a woman, being a businesswoman, because it's not always easy. And I'll tell you one thing that I know for sure: there's a lot of weak men in the world who aren't ready for a strong woman,
Right.
and that has to be really difficult as a businesswoman.
It is. It was. I mean, I'm on my second divorce, right? Both for those reasons, actually. So it wasn't anything that I did wrong. It was just that I am a strong woman. I know what I want in life. I know who I am. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it will take a strong man, and maybe he exists, maybe he doesn't, but that's okay. But yeah, I've been through a lot of things in my life. And I would tell you, with all of those downfalls, I guess since I've been a kid, at this point in my life now, I look at everything bad that happened as a learning lesson, right? So the first divorce just made me the stronger woman that I am now, right? And obviously made me a little too strong for the last husband because he couldn't handle that either, right? And my son, the one blessing with that is I always wanted to be a mom, right? But I was a businesswoman from 20 years old, and I traveled, and business came first all the time, and family and everybody else before me. And a couple years back, I finally decided that's what I wanted, and best thing I ever did in my life, right? So that just changed all of my goals, right? My first goals, which was taking care of my grandmother and my cousin, which I still do. And that's really all I worked towards, right? It was never working towards what Amy wanted or things like that. In the last 2 years, you've helped me a lot make that transition to finally put me first instead of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put myself first still, but it's up there at a higher level than what it was before. But you have to go through trials and tribulations in life to get there, right? And you don't have to believe in God, and that's okay as long as you're feeling higher. But for me, I've always lived by the rule of thumb that God only gives you what you can handle, and the hard things that He does put you through only makes you become the better person you are today. So I don't look at my divorces as things that are bad. I look at, the first one made me a strong woman. The second one gave me the most amazing gift in the world, right? I have an amazing son from that. And I have unconditional love, right? So, and as a businesswoman, it is hard because you try to run a business, you try to be a wife, you try to be a mom, right? And you run both ends, and men think, if you're a businesswoman, you still are supposed to come home and cook and clean and do all of these things that a wife's supposed to do. And it's just not how it's supposed to work. Women are equal to men. In a relationship like that, if it's two of you working, it's 50-50. You share, like you and your wife, you share all the responsibilities, right? And right, we have nannies and stuff, but it's just one of those things. It's one of those stigmas in societies, right? That a woman could work 80 hours a week and the man still expects her to work 40 hours at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not that woman. And I don't think any woman should be that woman. I think every woman should go for what they want to do in their life, no matter what. And your husband should support you, right? Or your significant, whoever it is. And if they don't, it's not worth it anymore. And I realized that in my marriage, and I walked away from it, And again, that just made me a stronger woman.
I think the conversation you have right now is fascinating because I think it's controversial as heck, right? Because you got a lot of people out there that are like right on, and then you got people out there who can't understand,
right?
Because there's people who haven't been entrepreneurs, there's people who haven't been with someone who's extraordinarily strong, right? And so therein lies there, because I also know on the other hand, and this is the part probably some people are catching, is you believe in the strength of a man in a leadership position,
Absolutely.
And you believe in the strength of the power of a strong man, right? The stronger the man, the stronger the woman, the stronger the woman, the stronger the man, right?
Absolutely.
And that's kind of how my wife and I look at things. It's fascinating because as you go through that journey and you're trying to hold together, like my wife and I, we have, we fight for our successful marriage.
Absolutely.
We absolutely, we both have to have passion about having a good relationship, because if you don't, eventually it's gonna
sizzle out. Yeah.
Gonna sizzle out, and so it's fascinating because I know you have a lot of those. We have so many shared beliefs when it comes to those kind of things.